YouTube. What's up? It's your boy, Young C, Carlos Cooper, coming back with another weekly outlook. Man, we committing our work to the Lord, writing the vision, making it plain, being diligent, because diligent hand leads to wealth. We mapping it out, guys. We getting our minds right. We preparing because man, without plan, plans to fail. Come on. So hey, if you put the work in, you do what you need to do. It's gonna come to you. It's gonna come to you. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this weekly outlook. All right. So starting off the DXY, this is what we expected last week. I expected the market to go higher. And it in fact did that. However, it didn't give me the correction that I was looking for. Uh, but yep, now this was there. So, what do we got for this week? What do we got for this week? Computer is lagging. All right. Going to cut off last week's analysis and cut on this week's analysis. All right. So what we got right now is the market is definitely moving on higher, right? Look at this trend compared to the previous trend. All right, this is what we got. Bias is buy, right? So the market is currently moving up, and it has not corrected. So what I would like to see is for the market to correct, of course, without breaking any levels. Well, sorry, this impetus level down here. Volume to flip to the downside, to the bear side, and then give me that ABC type correction I'm looking for, and then we can target the next level. So as of right now, the dollar is buying. So that means AU, EU, and GU should be selling, and UJ should be uh concurrence with this, also buying. But let's not assume. Let's go ahead and get right into the next pairs. All right, so last week with AU, my bias was that the market was overall buying with a temporary sell. It did not continue selling any lower, right? It just continued to push upward with the overall main trend. So for this week, it is inversely correlating with the DXY. So it is selling, right? And as of right now, I'm selling because this trend compared to the previous trend, this says exceeded. And what I would like to see is for again my correction. Momentum has already flipped to the bullish side in this case. Need my ABC type correction. And then we can look at go ahead and target lower. But just zooming in a little bit, this is some funny price action. So ideally I would like the market to go ahead and continue lower first and then give me that ABC type correction before looking to potentially participate in something like this. Moving on to EU. All right. So last week bias was a overall it was a buy, and I said it was currently selling. And instead of following the overall trend, it continued to sell because it was selling at the time. Right. So that analysis played on out. Played on out. Now what do we have this week? It is correlating with similarly to AU is selling. Is also inverse, inversely is inverse to the DXY. So it's things looking pretty good. Now, when I looked at the market, I don't, last time I looked at the market, I didn't have this, but nevertheless, as of right now, the market is selling, right? Um, Currently healthily selling with lower lows and lower highs. Now I got some funny business going on right now. So I need the market to correct. Momentum to flip, get my ABC type correction, and then we can look to participate in the market continue to sell. Moving on to GU. Now this looks better because EU had a super gap. Don't know what was going on there. All right, but last week, looking at GU, overall bias was a buy, and it was currently selling at the time, so it continued to sell. It followed the overall bias, and it continued to buy. Now, what do we have for this week? Looking at this trend compared to the previous trend, currently, it's definitely selling, right? So with that being said, what do I want to see? Sorry, with that being said, what's going on right now is markets pull back, like above structure, so it could be a potential. I don't want to say that's a correction, but it very well could be. I really had to dig into this just to see because that could just be a wick. But nonetheless, though, definitely want the market to correct with the ABC type of correction. Want to see volume go to the bullish side. Once I have ABC type correction, volume potentially look to sell, taking it on lower to, of course, next areas. Next areas are strong supply and demand. Currently sitting in one, so you have to pay attention to that. And last but not least, UJ. Sorry, let me correct myself. Yen futures, right? So because this is yen futures, it's the inverse of UJ. So UJ will be buying right now, correlating with the DXY. But instead, this is yen futures, so it's doing the opposite of that. So it is selling along with AUE and GU. Um, so last week I said the market was selling, and instead, it ended up actually breaking structure and temporarily bought, but overall went ahead and came on down and continued selling. Now, this week, what do I see? Looking at this trend compared to the previous trend, it's selling. No doubt about it. It's selling, right? And currently is a healthy trend. Lower lows and lower highs. Structure hasn't been broken. So that's good. So all that's fine and dandy. But what I would like to see is for market to correct to area supply and demand. You know, MACD to switch to the bullish side in this case, give them an ABC type correction. Then we can look to sell to this zone down here. So that's what we got our eyes set for this week. And only thing to do now is be patient, let the market come to us, give us what we would like to see, and then participate if everything comes to me how I planned for it to come. That's it. Thank y'all. Stay blessed by the best. God always.